We often hear people say that black culture is something to be proud of, right? But what if I say to you that the very culture that people are proud of is leading to its own destruction, is harming the people that support it? The very thing you guys love and rally behind is actually causing you harm. Is actually leading you down the wrong path. Today, I'm going to break down how exactly you should get or break away from the mindset that black culture has. Because let's be honest, it's a damning mind. It's a damning mindset. It's not productive, and there are people out there who genuinely want to escape this mindset. And so I'm going to tell you how to do it. First thing we have to look at is the fact we have to acknowledge that there's a glorification of negative and toxic traits in black culture. When we look at these, we think about gang violence, this materialism versus substance. You know what I mean? This instant gratification, this please me now, this minuscule things that just they're just band-aids. Let's just be honest. They're just band-aids. But it's part of the culture. Then you look at the hypersexuality, the promiscuity, the hookup culture. You look at all these things, and it's like, oh man. So we have to acknowledge that the things that we're promoting, the lifestyles that we're living, we have to acknowledge that they aren't productive. And once you acknowledge that they aren't productive, then an intelligent person starts to reassess. You begin to reassess, and you look and say, if this isn't productive, then how do I be productive, right? How do I become productive? And the truth of the matter is, the first step is accountability. Acknowledging that there is a problem, that there is something wrong, is the first step. That's the very first step. You get that out of the way. You can't help somebody that doesn't realize that they need help. You can't help somebody that doesn't want to be helped. No, when you acknowledge that there is something wrong, then now we can have a conversation. And once we have that conversation, then we can start getting into the conversation of values, morals, ethic codes that we should that should just basic humans should live by. And then we can actually look to progress. Two is a lack of accountability. This is a big thing. What was step number one? It focused on taking accountability, acknowledging that there's a problem. But if you can't take accountability for your role in that problem, then it's all for naught. Like, we notice we always see people, look at how they portray us. Look at the police always doing this to us. Everybody's always against us. Everybody's always against us, right? But they don't want to actually acknowledge the role that they played in creating that circumstance. You know what I mean? And so it's look at it like blaming external factors, right? Black culture lives in a perpetual mindset of victimhood, and that is like the rallying call. Like, hey, you're a victim, I'm a victim. Let's all be victims together. You know what I mean? And I just don't see how that's productive. I don't see how it's productive, and that's just being real. Then we constantly excuse bad behavior. Nobody's gonna call Pookie and Ray Ray out for robbing and knocking out old ladies. Nobody's gonna call Lil Pookie and Lil Ray Ray out for the fact that they running down on people trying to rob them. And then everybody always wants to cry and complain whenever something happens to them. And then they say, he was such a good, he didn't deserve that. Oh, you didn't have to do that. Oh, you didn't have to do that. Well, maybe if you weren't excusing the bad behavior and they weren't living a life where the bad behavior was excused, maybe they would have gone down a different path or had a conviction that at least made them think twice. Like, one of the biggest problems in the black community. Nobody wants to be accountable for the role that they play in the destruction. And it's pathetic. It's pathetic. Once you acknowledge that you have a problem or that there is a problem in the culture, and once you realize and take accountability for your role in what happens in the culture, then what? You have to look at what's going into your mind, what's going into your heart, what's going into your spirit. Because guess what? When you look at the media and when you look at the music, when you look at the entertainment, the TV, violence, drugs, gangs, promiscuity, ignorance, all these things are constantly fed into your mind, into your mental, into your spirit. And no wonder like, and it's the weird thing about it, because obviously this is a flaw with black culture, because other races listen to the same music, support the same people, because contrary to popular belief, a lot of your favorite artists wouldn't succeed without the support of white people. So let's be real, or other races. So let's be honest. Black culture, for some reason, are the only weak-minded individuals that let this stuff influence them. And it's not so much that it's just that there is bad stuff in the media, but when you look at it, there's nothing positive, nothing to encourage a break from the degeneracy. There is no Cosby Show. Then when you got all this feeding into these kids, guess what? They're the future. They're the future. So if they're ruined, then guess what? There's no hope for the culture. And that's the truth. If they're ruined, there's no hope for the culture. So maybe you guys need to actually start supporting or not supporting the negativity, the trash, the smut. This negativity is going to create a cycle. The same way that you can listen to a song that'll hype you up and get you in the mindset to take another person's life, maybe if you encouraged and played positive music, supported people who made positive music, maybe, just maybe, we would start seeing different outcomes. And the biggest part of it all, the real biggest part of it all, is realizing that you have to break away from the groupthink. That your peers are going to pressure you and they are going to resent you. They are going to rebuke you. They are going to fight against you. They are going to exclude you. You have to be ready to deal with the peer pressure, because guess what? Misery likes company. Black culture is a crab in the barrel, hyena mentality culture. And therefore, when they see you trying to get out of the barrel, they're going to try to bring you back in. You have to be able to get away from that peer pressure. You have to be able to overcome. You have to be able to rise above, because guess what? It's not easy. It's not easy. This group mentality, this group think like us, or you're not part of the club. It's kind of crazy. It's crazy. Gotta think. You gotta learn to think for yourself, and that's the biggest thing. You gotta be ready to stand on it. That's the truth. You have to be ready to stand on it. You have to be ready to stand on it. And I mean, as far as As far as just how to apply that stuff, I mean, just look at it. I mean, change who you look up to, change who you support. Get you some good role models. If you don't have a good role model, then maybe you need to create one. Maybe you need to become the role model or the change that you want to see in the world. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like you need to you need to actually learn how to understand and look things up and get an understanding of things for yourself. Because a lot of you guys, people are lying you straight to hell. You look at it with the Democrats, you look at it with the Hebrew Israelites. These cults are manipulating people, and they're manipulating people who are ignorant. That's the truth. That's the truth. We need to stop supporting toxic media, start rejecting it, and actually support positive things, positive media. And if you don't see any, maybe you should create it. And honestly, just find like-minded people to align with, people who share your values, and therefore it eliminates a lot of stress. You know what I mean? It's a lot. It's a lot. Everybody loves to talk about how good black culture is, but I believe that it's trash. And the reason why I believe that black culture is trash is because you champion and you celebrate the worst things for you. That's the truth. What are you going to do about it?